practicing?
You know, the music business it's the craziest thing. I started off when I was doing shows when I was 13. All of my friends had bands, and none of them could play shows anywhere, anywhere. They would call around and be like, hey, can I play shows? You know, and I got into this business by working and, you know, I got a loan from my grandfather to do my first concert. You know, I rented out Peabody's, actually. That's how I originally got into it. But I rented out Peabody's and did my first show, and I did my first local show. You know, and it was really successful. I think the music business has its days where it's rough. You know, the truth is that the people who actually sit back and pull the triggers in this world, as far as, you know, signing artists, are the Simon Cowells of the universe. You know, it's the ones who, you know, being that we live in a generation that has so many bands, you know, you got to be careful who you pick. You know, like the Hollywood Undead is a perfect example. They're a brand new band. They just released their first CD for I think 2 months ago. And all they did was build a bunch of hype up about them for 2 years on the internet or whatever. And those dudes did a U.S. City tour and sold out every single venue that they played at. You know, the music business has its days where it's rough. It does, you know. I mean, every musician can tell you it, every promoter can tell you it, every single person who works for a label can tell you that you know, the business has its rough days. But, you know, it has days where it's, you know, it's great to be in it. Like tonight's a great day for me to be in this business, because coming here and watching all these young musicians do their thing and playing in front of this crowd is great. But it's not always like this. You know, I mean, I've gone to shows where bands have played to empty rooms to only to their families and their friends. You know, and it can be disappointing, but, you know, I'm also a firm believer that, you know, that if you put 100% into whatever you're doing, at the end of the day you're going to be satisfied with the results. You know, people dwell so much on what's wrong and what's gone wrong, and, you know, why this didn't happen and why this didn't happen. And the truth is that, you know, most people in this business should just, you know, take a step back and just, you know, really learn it, you know, just really learn the business, you know, come up with ideas of, you know, how to promote. But yeah, I'd say that the music business has its rough points, but, you know, it's there's more bands touring right now in this country right now than have toured in the past 10 years combined. You know, and that's a great thing. You know, it's music's evolving, and the whole business is evolving. You know, I mean, seriously, like 10 years ago, I mean, most people went to maybe 2 or 3 concerts a year, maybe 2 at the most, you know, because, you know, their favorite band would come in and they'd play this big, huge arena, or, you know, they play the workplace or whatever, you know, the 800 capacity venues. But I think the music business isn't hard. I think that it'll make you or break you, you know. I've always told, I mean, I started in this business with a bunch of my friends, and a lot of my friends don't even do this business anymore that I started with, you know. I think that, I've always taken this, you know, we're all in the same boat, you know, we're all, you know, doing our thing and trying to get to the same destination. And, you know, you got to accept the fact that, you know, that when you reach your destination, some of the people that you were in that boat with aren't going to be there. I may not even be there, you know. I may not even reach the level that I want to in this business. That I've been doing it since I was 13, and I've been, you know, I'm one of the few in this business that can say, you know, as a promoter, that can say I do this full time, and, you know, I work for a company, I do this full time, and it pays my bills. But I earned it, you know. I earned every bit of it. But I would say that the music business is rough on the individuals who allow it to be rough on them. You know, the ones, you know, I mean, there are some bands out there that got some crappy deals from some labels, and it's rough for them. You know, because they got a deal in front of them. I got a friend that was on a label and in a band, and he's an amazing singer, and things didn't work out with the label, and he can't play music for 8 years. That sucks, and that's rough, you know. But, you know, it's just, you know, he didn't read the fine print of the contract, because, you know, he got this contract in front of him from this big label, and it meant the world to him. And it was rough on him because, you know, he didn't make a good choice. He didn't go out and get an entertainment attorney, and But I will say this. I recently came across a website. It's called I want to say artisthousemusic.com, and it's a really good website. Like it's there's a lot of companies that do like music seminars all over the country. Where they fly out these label reps and stuff. Like we just had one in Cleveland called the Music Seminar. And they brought out a lot of labels and stuff like that. They brought out a lot of people and a lot of panels, and it was great. It was great, But they charge all these bands, to play it. It was like $1,500 to play the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame stage for like 7 minutes. It was $300 to play inside of a hotel ballroom in front of all these panelists for like 15, 20 minutes. And it's good, because I think some of the artists that played it got signed. A couple of them got, some really good exposure out of it. And sometimes you got to cough up money in order to get to your dream. I manage a group in Cleveland called the Real Industry Assassins. We do concerts on our own, and we take the money that we make from our concerts and we reinvest it back into our band. But anyway, the music artist thing is really good. I went to it, and a buddy of mine sent it to me, and I think I know it's artisthousemusic.com. I know that I'm right about it, but it's there's a thing on there right now. Like I was on there the other day, and Jimmy Iovine from Interscope did this whole like little 15-20 minute speech, and about the state of the music business and the changes that need to be made to it. But it answers every question that any artist could ever have, and it's all in video format. And I think that's that's where the more a person is educated in this business, the less rough it's going to be for them at the end of the day. It's the same thing with any job though. You're going to have your good days, you're going to have your bad days, you're going to have your rough days, but it's you got to be able just to rub it off. But I believe that the more knowledge that you have in this business, and the more you embrace it, the less rough days that you have, and the more respect people have for you, because you're not going to find yourself in those rough situations. I've read books, I've read lots of books, like everything you want to know about the music business, volumes 5 and 6. I've gone to music seminars. I've pushed my way through doors to talk to people just to pick their brains, But like I said, I think that I think this business is about education, and it is a business about, sometimes, I believe everyone says it's a business about who you know, but I don't think that, I think that the talent will always prevail. If you're a talented artist and you're doing your thing and you're smart, we live in an era where bands don't need labels anymore. The Insane Clown Posse is never needed a label. They got turned down by every label in the country, but they're the biggest independent artists in the country right now. They tour, they've played Woodstock, they've played the Video Music Awards. They've never won a Grammy. But Tech Nine's a great example. Tech Nine was an independent artist that went on tour and went out and got a financial backer and went on tour. And that dude headlined South by Southwest this year. But it's it's about commitment, and I just think it's about education. I think that that you have your rough days when you're not educated. When you're not out there, you're not doing your thing. When you slack on it, and it's really not hard to make it in this business. It's really not. It really isn't. But people have different definitions of making it. To me, making it is like me. I just want to be able to make enough money to provide for my family, so that I can put food in my kid's mouth, and I can afford my bills and have enough to retire on. I don't need a $10 million mansion to live in. I don't need to drive a Bentley. And I don't need a private jet. Everybody has their different aspects of what they think is making it in this business. But for the most part, once again, that's why I like working with independent artists, because they don't need to stay in a $10,000 a night hotel room, in order to go out and entertain their fans and upcharge their fans, $85 for tickets to go watch them play. So, but yeah, but I would, and I would check it out if I were you guys. I mean, it's music, artisthousemusic.com. It's a really good site. But yeah, like I said, everyone has rough days, but it's pretty much what I think. So, anything else?
Well, that's it.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Cool. So.